Good morning, friends. I'm back. I got up really early this morning. The sun's not up yet because I wanted to do a quick video before I went to work this morning and show you guys how to store dry food in a bucket for long-term storage. If you do it properly, it can last for like 25 years, and you can put it in your basement, put it in a cool, dry place somewhere where it can store it if you store it properly. Before we start on that, I just want to address food storage a little bit. I hear people say a lot of times that you need to have faith and you don't need to store food and all this stuff. And this is me. This is the way I feel. I feel like it's my responsibility to have something in case there's an emergency for my family. And I'm not talking like the end of the world or something. Like, we just had a whole bunch of snow. And we didn't have to get out because we had some food in the house. So there's all kinds of reasons to store food. And the economy, food prices at the store are going sky high right now. So whatever you've put back when that happens means that you got it for a better price than everybody else. But we've gotten so used to going to the store every day for whatever we want at the moment. And really, that's not the way that people have lived through history. Most of the time, there was a planting season, a harvest season, and a storing season. And usually that food had to get you through outside of, what they would go and hunt for or whatever until the next time to plant and grow. So I think it's good to store some food. I have levels of food storage where, like there's this long term, and I wouldn't get into that because it's, a little process to do it. It's easy, it's fast, and it's very inexpensive. But anyway, I think it's a good thing. I think it's the responsible thing to do. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, the first thing that you will need is whatever food it is you want to store. And I'm going to store pinto beans today to show you this. You could be doing rice, you could be doing pinto beans. The process I'm going to give you is the same for whatever it is. You can do red beans, black beans, anything that's dry. You want to be sure it's dry because you don't want any moisture in your bucket. So what I did with whether you're using beans, rice, whatever, I put these in the freezer for 2 to 3 days and let them stay in there. Then I pulled them out and I let them sit and come up to room temperature for a good 24 hours because I don't want any moisture, condensation, or anything in these when I put them away, or it could ruin them when they're sealed up in the bag. So with that being said, this is an 8-pound bag of beans, and we're going to use several pounds because we're going to use a 5-gallon bucket. The next thing you will need is a 5-gallon bucket. Now, we're going to use Mylar bags and put in here, so you don't have to use the food grade, I don't believe. And there's all different ways to do this. This is just the way I do it. But at Walmart, I can get the food grade buckets for as inexpensive as I can get the non-food grade buckets. So I get them. And the lid, we'll need the lid. We'll need an oxygen absorber. This one came with my 5-gallon Mylar bags, and I'm trying to see what cc it is, but it doesn't actually tell me on here. But it's a pretty good size one, so you don't want to use the little ones. You want to use ones that are meant for the 5-gallon bags. And then we'll need our 5-gallon Mylar bag like this. And it looks huge, but it'll fit right in that bucket. So that's the first thing we want to do is put our Mylar bag in the bucket. And I put it in and mash it out. So it's pretty flat on the bottom because I want to get as many beans in this bucket as I can. It's kind of noisy, sorry. As you pour the beans in, you can kind of work with it and adjust it so that it'll hold more. And kind of flatten it out on the bottom. Okay, so let's put let's pour in our first bag of beans on here. Everybody has different ways of doing stuff, and this is just mine, and it seems to work good for me. Everything I've looked at was kept very well. So this is an 8-pound bag of beans. Let's see how many this holds. Okay. You never want to wash them or anything before you do this. That'll be something that you'll do, you know, pick through them and rinse them after you take them out after storage, not before. The only thing you want to do is put them in the freezer, take them out, and let them come to room temperature. The reason that we're putting them in the freezer is to kill off any, if there would be critter eggs or something in it, and that sounds terrible, but you know what, everything that you buy, flours, beans, any dry goods that you get at the store have critters in them. And so we want to kill that off before we store them. Okay, I've got 2 8-pound bags of beans in here. And I'm going to kind of adjust them all down in and see if I can get some more in here, which I can. Let's see, I've got another 8-pound bag one right here. From what I understand, 1 5-gallon bucket of beans, rice, whatever, on average, will feed 1 person for 1 month. So if you had a bucket of beans and a bucket of rice, then you would feed 2 people for a month. And of course, that's dependent upon the size of the person, the amount of work that they're doing, you know, because different people are doing different things and burning different amounts of calories. Okay, let's see. Now we gotta have room to seal this and to put the top of this in. So, my beans are up to here on this, and I do have an extra bag of beans. It's a 4-pound bag of beans, but I don't think we're gonna add them in. I don't know. I'll do that if I can still get the lid on. I just want to leave room to be able to put a lid on. You have to put a lid on your bucket because if a rodent or something would get in, a mouse, they can eat through the Mylar bag. So you have to put, I went ahead and put the 4-pound in there. I think it'll fit. Maybe. Okay, the next thing we want to do is, I always put a bay leaf in my stuff. They say a bay leaf keeps things from getting in there. My bay leaves are kind of, I might put 2 because there's everything I have left is small. So I'm going to put 2 bay leaves. Bay leaves do not make it flavored. It doesn't taste like bay leaves when you get it out, although I love the smell and flavor of bay leaves. The next thing we're going to do, and we want to do this very well actually, I'm going to seal this as best I can before and leave just a little opening to put my oxygen absorber. So I'm going to seal up as much of it as I can to get the air out. So like that, oh yeah, that lid will fit on, that's fine. So we're going to do this, and then I've got a little opening right here. I'm going to cut open that oxygen, I can't talk, it's too early, oxygen absorber, and stick it in the bag, like that. And then finish sealing it up just as quickly as you can, and as much air as you can get out. That's that much less work that little oxygen absorber is going to have to do. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that this morning, but I am. Okay, I'm going to tuck those little, well actually, I'm not. I'm going to use a sealer and seal this Mylar bag on the top. I'm going to go get my sealer. Hold on 1 second, I forgot it. Okay, this is what my sealer looks like. Mine's a bag sealer. And what I will have to do, I don't have a plug-in here close, but I'm going to show you. I will just put it above the seal that's on the bag, the one that I did with my fingers. And I usually seal it. This I'll have to do twice to get it all the way across, but I'll still do 2 seals, 2 thick, and I will pinch it down. Now I can't plug it in right here. I don't have a plug-in close, but that's how I'll do mine. You can also use a curling iron. So it's important to get that sealed before you put it away. And I will go back and do this when I can get it where I can plug it in. We're going to tuck those little ends in. We're going to put a lid on it. Oh, that fit perfect. That was 3 8-pound bags of beans and a 4-pound bag of beans. So that fit perfect in here. The next thing you want to do is label that, because no matter what you think, you will forget what's in that bucket. And I have several buckets in my basement, and I labeled them, so now I can go down there. I even put some dehydrated elderberries away that I have bought bags of. They come in Mylar bags, so I put them in the bucket and then put the lid on top, and they kept very well. And I've just pulled those out as I've needed them to make my elderberry syrup. Which, if you haven't checked that out, that video, I have a video on elderberry syrup. So that's how I would do some long-term food storage. So if you haven't done that, I mean, it's so inexpensive to do. Put a couple of buckets away in your basement and you'll have something. You know, other food storage you want to rotate. This, you don't need to. This is long-term storage. So it's worked for me. I know other people have other ways of doing it, but this is what works for me. It's really simple, doesn't take much time, and storing beans and rice, stuff like that, is really inexpensive. So I never ask, but would you like, subscribe, and share if this was helpful for you? I would really appreciate it. So the sun's still not up, and I gotta go get ready and get my day going. But anyway, thanks for joining me in my home. Have a good day.